Hi, everybody. Ooh, watch out for your butt, sir. Well, good for him. Oh, I bet he's cleaning up graffiti. Oh, but he's out there. That wall never has graffiti on it. And now I know why. Because he's out there with his roller and his paintbrush, cleaning it up. Huh. Good for him. I hope everyone's doing okay. I have a lot of throat stuff. I honestly, the truth of the matter is, I'm allergic to my cats. But I could not resist either one of them when they were babies, and I can't resist them now. So I chew gum. I've discovered the joy of zero sugar Jolly Ranchers, and they make a tropical flavor, which I also enjoy. And yeah, so there's a recommendation for you. Also on the zero sugar tip, I would like to recommend Skinny Dipped chocolates. I've tried the peanut butter cup and the salted caramel squares chocolate. And somebody was talking about the almonds, the chocolate covered almonds, which I will have to try. I am not sponsored by Skinny Dipped at all, but these are all delicious, and yeah, so that's your sweet treat tip of the day. So my schedule's a little bit off. I was supposed to make this video yesterday, but I was so nauseous. I couldn't. I had a fever. I was sick to my stomach. I have no idea what happened, and it was over today. I'm fine. Although I did skip breakfast. The idea of eating just sounds a little too treacherous for me. I just can't face it. And that's okay. Oh, okay. So the other day, Monday was very interesting. So I recorded that extra video, and I know I was talking about feeling isolated still, that somehow psychologically I'm still on lockdown from the pandemic. I don't know what my issue is, but I really just, okay, thank you. It's nice to say thank you. Somebody had to honk on him to get him to go. So maybe it wasn't a gesture of generosity. Maybe he was just reading his phone. I'll take the win. Anyway, I need to get out more. Okay, everybody's gonna let me go. Hey, Waymo. And I go to the Echo Park client, and one of her employees is there that I've never met. And she just randomly, and this was after I had recorded my video, she randomly started talking about how, as a result of the pandemic, she still does not go out as much as she used to. And I do agree there is a function of age. People just don't go out. I don't know why we've come to a complete standstill here. Something is wrong. Okay, I'm gonna watch this guy. Watch this guy make a move. Oh, a Tesla, of course. Oh no, he's stuck. So everybody's stuck. There is a school bus thing happening. There is a school nearby. Oh, Tesla's gonna Yui it. Okay. School bus. Doesn't seem to know what they're doing. Oh, there's a whole passel of kids. The school is over there, though. So random bus evacuation, like 100 feet away from the school. Okay. I hope everyone's safe. The things you see, just driving around your normal life. But I thought it was interesting, getting back to this new person, that I was talking about the pandemic effects, that I'm still feeling this sense of isolation. And here's this person I've never met before, and she basically said the same thing that I told you guys. So, you know, I felt affirmed. I told her I feel seen. So I'm not the only one feeling this, which is tricky. It's because when you are isolated, when you are alone, it is weird to think that other people also feel isolated and alone. Like we're all podlings, like in the Matrix before Neo gets barfed out of the system. You see all those people in all those pods, and it's kind of what we've become. And so we're collectively isolated. And then to further affirm, I watch a lot of YouTube, and if they came with the guns and said you can only have one streamy that you pay for, because I do pay extra because I don't like ads, you know, $10 a month is worth it to, you know, not have somebody ask me if I'm cathing. Do you cath? Get over yourself. None of your damn business. That's what I do. None of your business. Yeah, I don't need that kind of clutter. So, yeah. But last night, I saw a bit by Josh Johnson. If you guys don't know about him, please, now you do. Watch his stuff. He's a Daily Show correspondent, but he's a stand-up comedian, and he posts a lot of his stand-up on YouTube. And he did this thing about loneliness. It was about the TikTok trend of guys calling their friends to wish them good night, you know. And he talks about male loneliness, and it's not just men, it's women too. I can tell you, from me and the women I talked to on Monday, I think we're gripped by loneliness. And I think that all the BS that's going on right now, with illegal wars and creepy ICE agents wearing, you know, polyester masks, snatching up the people. There's the best part about all of this criminal action that's being perpetrated on the people by the government is that it's making us talk to each other. It's making us connect. It's making us form our Red Rover line. You know, Red Rover, send that butthole over. And these ICE agents come lunging at people, and we just have to lock arms and not let them break the chain. They're not allowed in. They're not allowed. You see these... Pat Oswalt calls them Pillsbury Doughboys. Yeah, they're cosplaying at being superheroes, and they're just creeping around like weirdos, leaping out of bushes. And, you know, when a Karen with a camera can point it at you and say, who are you and what are you doing? And that's enough to scare you away. You're not proud of your job, and you're not confident of your job. You're just out there being a professional kidnapper. Oh, I'm so mad about this, if you didn't know. But always look for the bright side. That's the formula to happiness. And the bright side is we're connecting with each other. We're reaching out. We're locking arms. We're reforming our communities to represent who we are and what we stand for. And what we stand for is mind your own damn business. Mind your business. You know, it's you've taken a thing too far. And it's not a crime to be a brown person. But that's not the way this government is acting. And I'm really disappointed. I voted for the girl. So he is my disappointment because he is my elected official. And that is disgusting to me. But I didn't vote for his ass. And this is all of this that's going on. You know, those of us who voted for the girl saw this coming. So those of you who triple trumped, and you know, I'm so sorry to be a Cassandra here. You did not listen to us. You listened to TV commercials and you listened to prepared media. You did not read the track record. You did not look at the evidence. Because past behavior can predict future behavior. And we're talking about a dude who did not make his money. He inherited his money. And then he bankrupted himself out of it multiple times. And you are surprised at his shenanigans? You are surprised you elected a convicted... I don't even know how he was able to stand for office as a convicted felon. As a convicted felon, he doesn't have the right to vote. If you don't have the right to vote, and if I'm wrong about that, somebody give me the nuance there. Because I'm not tracking how he was even able to secure the nomination. You know, when you elect a crook to office, you get crooky office. We've got very stinky, crooky stuff going on. There you go. I said it. Yeah. So, you know, thank you for giving us something to come together on, I guess. I guess that's what I'm saying there. So then the rest of my Monday, I had talked about this pandemic isolation, that I want to break myself out of this jail of just staying frozen in place. And, you know, I lost some of the places that I used to go. You know, there was a place called Writer's Block. I think I've talked about it before. It did not survive the pandemic, but it's basically, I don't have a better way to describe this. It's basically a gym for writers. So instead of going and working out, you go and you write. And, you know, I lost touch with that whole community. There was a Discord. They moved it over to Discord when we were on lockdown. And then I lost my password or something, and you needed a special, well, what's your code? And we can I don't know what my code is. Well, then it's gone. I lost all those people, all of them, because I relied on Discord, which I didn't really know how to use. I know vaguely how to use it now. I'm not that impressed by it. You know, if I was a gamer, I probably would enjoy it more. Because it took me a long time to discover how great texting was. Yeah, I used to get so mad. Why didn't anyone answering their phone? I love texting. I prefer a text to a voicemail. I the freedom to have a conversation that can go on for days and days and days. You just, add something. I've come to enjoy it. I suspect that if I dug into Discord, I would find that I enjoy it for the benefits that I cannot identify right now because I don't use it. That I need to gain better understanding of that software. So my friend Julia invited me to a book signing. And book signings in general I find to be kind of weird experiences. And having seen what goes into arranging a book signing, because I had a friend who wrote a memoir, and then and it was picked up by a publisher, big publisher, and it turns out the books, for the most part, that are sold at any book signing, the author has purchased so that they are available to the attendees. So when you buy the book at a book signing, the author's recovering what they outlaid to get the book. It's just crazy to me. Why wouldn't you just ship more books to the bookstore? Nope. If you want books at the bookstore, you must buy them. And then they'll send them. It's crazy. So we go to this, that's just one crazy piece. So we go to this book signing. She lives in the valley. I live over near Culver City. And the book signing was in Culver City at a bookstore called Village Well and Books. And if you live in LA, I'm gonna say thumbs up on this shiz. That place was charming. And it's okay, Tesla. We're here for you. They do a lot. It's sure, it's a bookstore, but they do a lot of community stuff. So Monday nights they have stand-up comedy, which I'm going to go and check out. They have one Friday a month, they have a board game night. They have a cafe, and there's all these tables with plugs for your computer. So clearly writers take their computers and set them up and write and buy coffee and hang out. And this is very similar to the writer's block, although it's not structured. The writer's block had a lot of structure, and I think their website is still up and you can look at it. I loved it so much, and initially that's what I was going to try and recreate, a digital version of that here, but it felt weird. One of my very first videos is me sitting there for an hour typing and not talking. It was weird. I apologize. I'll leave it up because why not? That it was goofy as hell. But I'm goofy. I mean, if you're still here, if you're a subscriber, if you know me, you know that I'm goofy. And I'm willing to try things. I'm willing to fail. It's okay. It's okay. But I believe I will be going back to this place armed with my computer. I have so much I got to get done. I have so many projects I have to get written, and my brain is just stacking up ideas, and I'm not getting them written. I just really, stay holed up like a little Heidi Mouse in my house, and that has to change. I gotta get out of the house. I gotta I got to do a little system reset, a reorganization. So I want to tell you about the book. The book is called Boundless, and it's by a woman named Kathy Elden. And there were all these very diverse group of people, very, hippie nouveau. There definitely was a, crunchy element to the group. Nice people, though. Everybody wanted to know everybody. What? So I go from Monday morning talking about feeling isolated to going to this bookstore where everybody wanted to know everybody. Ask and ye shall receive, man. I just was like, it was a lot. And to get dunked into society so intensely, a nice quiet little bookstore was the perfect place for that cold plunge to my social skills. It was nice. It was nice. And so the book, my friend gave me a copy because she knows the author. So the author knew Julia was coming and had given her a copy, signed a copy for her. So Julia had an extra copy, gave me the unsigned copy, which is good. And I know she encouraged me to get my copy signed, which I did not do. I was so tired, and by 8:30 I was ready. The night before I had 2 hours of sleep. My mind would not stop on the hamster wheel of noise, and it wasn't even important noise. It was just noise. My brain got caught in a loop, and I couldn't turn it off. Although, I did read recently, there's a trick where you just tell yourself, I don't need to think about this right now. I was so tired I couldn't think of that trick. Ugh. So yeah, so I was tired and I dragged myself home and went to sleep. But apparently, Kathy's son, it was so weird. Everybody knew her but me. They're reading intros and they're like, do we need to do the intro? Does anybody not know me? And I raised my hand. I was the only person who didn't know her. Everybody else who was there knew her. And she's got some creative nonprofit where she supports makers. I haven't looked at any of this. Makers of what? I don't know. I know that there's a strong audiovisual component because there were a few filmmakers and screenwriters present at the signing. Kathy's son is no longer, was a photojournalist who was murdered in Somalia, I think. And they made a movie about him. And Kathy was played by Maria Bello in the movie. Not bad. Not bad. Kathy seems like a very strong person, like a very strong personality, just focused and resolute, and it was a little heavy to sit there and say, well, when my son was murdered, and the only one in the room that not only didn't know her but didn't know this, wow, zoinks. That was kind of a lot. I think our book is going to be interesting. She read a few passages. They were quite moving. Nobody reads the parts that are not moving, right? Even David Sedaris reads his stuff out loud. You are moved to laughter. I really love when David Sedaris reads his stuff. I think he is so funny. Woo! I had my eyes on the road. That's why I knew that jerk was going to do it. In his brand new BMW that still has the paper license plate. So let's bash up the car before we even get our official plates. Welcome to LA. Yeah, so my Get Out the House campaign seems to be going quite well. On Sunday, I'm going to go to the farmer's market and get a lunchy, brunchy something with a friend. I don't hang out with her that often. Up till now, I've seen her maybe once a year. She's a friend of a friend, actually. And I just really enjoy the shit out of her. She's funny, she's fun, she's smart. She's lived a very interesting life. And we have this kind of weird connection where our lives have intersected in a lot of ways. But I call her the mayor of Beverly Hills because we keep running into oh, you know this person? How do you know this person? I know several characters in her life who are also characters in my life, and how this, so it just seems sensible, making friends of friends. I think it's a good idea, because if they're friends with your friend, chances are you're going to like them too. But this person, Margaret, how many people we know? 1, 2, 3, 4. At least 4 people. And those 4 people don't know each other. Does that make sense? I mean, if everybody was in the same book club, okay, it's not a shock. You buy one, get the set kind of situation. These people that we know in common, they are not friends with each other. It's just so weird. And it's, this is not like, oh, our kids went to school together, blah. Nope, that's not how this worked. One person is, wealthy divorcee, one person is an attorney, one person is an actress, one person is an agent, one person is, these are people that their intersections are weird. So, yeah. So I'm looking forward to a farmer's market and lunchy brunchy thing. And the confusing part, and I didn't ask for clarification, I just, figure I'll just go with it. There are farmers markets, and then there's the farmers market. And the farmers market is at 3rd and Fairfax? Am I making that up? And it's, there's part of it's been there since the 30s, and then there's part of it that is the Grove. That is very new. And the farmers market part has little stores, foodstuffs. There's a hot sauce store, and it is floor to ceiling, wall to wall, little bottles of hot sauce. And if you come to Los Angeles and you enjoy hot sauce, I encourage you to give them a try. They have a toy store that sells basically old-fashioned wooden toys. I love that store. It's just so cute. And kids, this is going to sound weird, kids love those old-fashioned toys. And I think it's because it allows them to have more imagination when they're playing than something that's got pre-programmed voices and actions. You know, that they get to decide if the choo-choo train can fly. You know, not relying on the Buzz Lightyear wings that pop out. I don't know if his wings pop out or if they're always popped out. I'll let the experts be expert on that. But yeah, it's, you know, there's McGee's, and they're famous for their corned beef sandwiches. It's pretty much the thing to get there. I mean, there's all these little funky little places. There's 2 different butchers. I do like Huntington Meats. I think the other one's called Marcona. But, you know, there's a Parisian cheese store. I mean, I've really talked up this thing. Or when she said, let's go to the farmer's market, maybe she meant the pop-up kind that, you know, they closed down a little neglected street for. Either way, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna see what there is to see, and then we'll get a little lunch. But I gotta get out of the house more and just combat my loneliness in a focused way. You know, I need to accept that I did this for myself. I isolated to protect. Ooh, that's a cool looking automobile. Yeah, it looked like a race car. It's probably one of those things like a Lotus or something. It was an impossibly cool looking car. When I'm more sophisticated, maybe I'll get a second camera, and then I can put the mount so that, yeah. Things I need to do, right? So, I want to say thank you as I'm climbing up the hill here to the house up off Lookout Mountain. I want to say thank you for being here, for joining me on these little journeys, on these little rants. If you are feeling a little bit lonely or isolated, I hope that you're finding ways to get out. This channel was my first attempt at combating feeling so isolated, and to my great surprise, people have signed up and people have tuned in, and I'm super grateful. And I do feel like I'm not just talking out loud like a weirdo. I do feel like I've got friends on the other end of this screen, and it's encouraging, and it makes me feel a whole lot less alone. So you guys mean a lot to me, even though we don't know each other. And, you know, I'm all choked up, and we're coming to the stop sign where I say goodbye. So that's where we are. This is the stop sign. This is where I say goodbye. You have a good day. You stay out of trouble. I hope you find something really fulfilling to do today. And I will talk to you later.